This is Sims, and we are back with more Cafe Enchante, and we are in Miser's route. We just started his chapter, and we went a little over time because I wasn't paying attention, and then I was like, ah, shit, we should have stopped, and we didn't, so I cockblocked you, and it was that moment, the shop shakes violently, dun dun dun, and now you had to wait, and now we're going to find out why the shop is shaking violently. Are you ready? The tremor is so big, it's hard to stay standing. Chairs, tables, shelves, everything dances in unison. The tremor shakes my body. The furniture jumps like it's possessed. I'm not really good at dramatic readings when I'm laughing about it. I can't endure the shaking anymore, and when I'm about to fall over... Okay, calm down. Miser lightly snaps his fingers. The furniture that was dancing around so much suddenly stops moving like it was all a lie. At the same time, my body feels gently supported by something I can't see, and my accident is avoided. That was such a shock. Thanks, Miser. You're welcome, or so he must have thought. Miser sips his coffee like nothing at all happened. Then, Karya, who had escaped into the air with ill, lands while nervously looking around. That earthquake was really big. Yeah, thanks to Miser, nothing in the shop broke, but... Who knows about other places? You know, just in case, we might want to look around. And then I'll check the kitchen. I'm worried about the gas line. Yeah, please do. Being quite familiar with its layout, Karya disappears into the kitchen. Then... Are you okay, Il? Yes, my body has no injuries. I was floating in the air with Karya. Okay, that's... good to hear, but I have another concern for you, Il. Do you think your room might be a total disaster now? Like your mountain of goods? What? Il's face instantly goes pale, and he flies off to his room. Alright then. Should we go look outside? It could be dangerous if any pots broke. Luckily, the earthquake didn't warp the door and make it unopenable. With Miser's help, I push open the door leading outside. It was probably only the shop. Along with the bright sunlight, what jumped into our sight was... Oh, there's a wormhole out front my door. As though ripped by a claw, a crack running through the ground. Huh? My eyes go wide and I hold my breath. You're kidding! I know it was a big earthquake, but for a crack like this to form... No, that's not it. Huh? This is no mere crack in the ground. Much like before, no, with far more strength than the big earthquake earlier, Miser pulls me to his chest. Oh, hi. That moment, in the place where I was right before Miser pulled me... What's CBIE greater than K? Whatever it is. With a groan, what looks like an undead hand crawls out. Ah! That was... well, totally different in size, just like what I saw on Amasaki Island. Just before the fingertips reach me... Don't touch her! Miser immediately swings his hand and blows the arm away. Hashtag, hashtag, hashtag. Or cause I'm old, pound sign, pound sign, pound sign. I didn't want to confuse anyone who's young. What the hell's a pound sign? There's a pound sign before it was a hashtag, kiddos! With a cacophony, the arm disappears, and the fissure there in the ground slowly begins to close. All I can do is stare in confused silence. That just now... an arm like we saw on Amasaki Island, right? Why did that appear in front of Enchante? Why are my people trying to invade the human world? Anyway. On to our next story. Train routes will be disrupted due to the earthquake today around 14:30. Whoa. Everything on is about the earthquake. It was a very large earthquake after all. Luckily there was almost no damage here. Indeed, I was playing with the kids from the neighborhood at the time, and it was troubling when some began to cry. Some of the precious goods in my room have fallen over. A grieving Il stares into the table as he holds... stares into a tablet he holds as everyone exchanges words. They fell over! They're not broken, though! That night, after the sudden earthquake, All the regulars had been in the human world at the time, and they all had a taste of the intense shaking. After distributing some post-meal coffee and juice to everyone, I was also watching the news myself. When it goes to commercial, I sit next to Miser in a position where I can see the tablet.
So, did you really see one of those arms from back on Amasaki Island?
Yeah, it disappeared really quickly, so I have no proof, but...
I saw it along with her, and there was no mistaking it.
A mysterious wormhole and arm from Amasaki Island appeared at the shop, and this is too convenient to be a coincidence.
As though everyone thought the same thing, pondering silence runs between all of us. And as though interrupting that silence, the commercials end. The newscaster on the screen resumes the news.
We've brought on a professor with expertise in today's earthquakes. Let's speak to him right away. Doctor, you've been saying that today's earthquake has characteristics that have never been seen?
Yes, we were quite surprised. One could say that such a thing has never been observed before in history. It's probably another dude, but you know what? I need a lady voice in here, okay? I presume everyone knows this, but normally earthquakes occur due to stresses in the plates of the Earth's crust. However, this earthquake accompanied no plate movement, and the seismic waves created by the earthquake display abnormal numbers.
So this wasn't a normal earthquake?
Yes, as a scientist, I'm not sure if this expression is quite correct, but the entire world itself shook. That's the impression that I have.
Like everywhere? That's fucking crazy. That's when you know shit's about to hit the fan and we're all gonna die.
Quite a bold opinion for a scientist. It was rather unscientific.
Yeah, this coming from a headless knight whose whole existence is unscientific.
Well, in regards to that, I'm certain the existence of demons, angels, and all non-humans fall under that category.
As everyone exchanges jokes, what I think about, of course, is the incident on Amasaki Island. Before, it was near my hometown, and this time it was in front of the shop. It's as though this phenomenon has some connection to me.
Okay! This is where you get... okay. On one hand, Otome game, probably true, because everything is about us, and everything revolves around us. On the other hand, girl, get over yourself! What kind of level of narcissism do you have to be like, 2 times things happened and it had to do with me? Again, it's absolutely probably does have to do with her because Otome game, and she's the MC, and but like in the real world, your real world brain is like, seriously? But she's probably right.
A vague sense of unease fills my chest, like something frightening is slowly getting closer. Terrible premonitions swirl around in my mind.
The gate did shove you there. So,
After finishing washing the last cup, I sigh. I thought today would just be a normal day. But suddenly, all of the conversations became scary. Back at Amasaki Island, that abnormal event happened in the sky, and it was at a comfortable distance. I was more surprised than anything, so I wasn't terrified in the same way. But seeing that arm again directly and up close, it makes me tremendously uneasy. Even if I tried to sleep, it's clear that I wouldn't be able to. I should get some fresh air. When I exit to the backyard, the cool wind I was seeking immediately graces my cheeks. When I gaze out at the pretty, well-ordered yard, at any moment now that fissure could open up. My imagination plays out horrible scenarios. Coming outside had the opposite effect. Imagining how frightening that could actually be, I returned to the shop when...
Who's saying, "Oh, you're leaving already? Princess."
Oh, that was me. Okay, that was Miser. I was like, who the fuck is saying, "Oh, you're leaving already, princess"? Did he ever call us princess before? I don't really remember. Anyway.
Oh,
You're leaving already, princess? The starry sky is beautiful. Why not enjoy it just a little more? Just then, just coming out of the entrance, Miser greets me with a smile. Miser, what's wrong? I thought you'd be in the demon world by now. And normally you'd be right, but I was more concerned about you. Are you worrying about what happened today? Leisurely, yet directly, he presents his question. I'm really scared. Yeah, I'm feeling really scared. When I think about something like that happening near Enchante again, I mean, thankfully nothing was damaged, but what if people like Karya or other visitors would have gotten hurt? Enchante, as its owner, I know I should be more dignified. I thought I'd gotten really used to strange days with non-humans in other worlds. Aside from the taste of coffee and cooking, in this special cafe, the owner of Enchante needs to be able to adapt after all. I start to feel disappointed in myself for being scared. But Miser... Does that really matter? It's not undignified to be afraid. Huh? As though wiping away my unease, he lets out a cheerful grin. What's scary is scary. What's unsettling is unsettling. It's fine to feel that way. Is that really true? Yeah. Also, troubles like this, beyond human knowledge, are why last bosses like me are here. And don't hold back. Just say, "Help me, Miser." It'd make me happy if you asked me that. I can't help but smile at the silly attitude of his. What? Is that how I sound? A perfect impression, right? What? That was terrible. As I chuckle, he smiles again. Before I knew it, the darkness permeating my chest had disappeared somewhere. Do you feel a little more at ease? Yes, thank you. To be honest, I was too scared to sleep. When I mutter this, Miser looked to be thinking carefully. And then, I have a present from the Demon King, so you may have sweet dreams. He beckons me over, and when I come right before his eyes, oh my god, kiss me. It's probably not going to happen, but he spins me around, turning my back to him, then... Here goes. When Miser says this, a familiar sound rings out. Following that... Oh, we get a CG, yay! A familiar light floats up in our surrounding area. Of course I wouldn't forget it. This beautiful keyboard of light is... This is what you used back on Amasaki Island to close the wormhole. That's right. Although this time it has no special effect. I just recreated the shape to make sound. True, as Miser said, when he pressed his fingertips, light dances about. She looks like so derpy shocked. Beautiful tones play out in colors, challenging the very beauty of our flowers. Such gorgeous sounds. Before I realize it, a simple words like that waltzed off my lips. As I thought, listening again closely, Miser's performance is beautiful. No. The melody playing out, as though sweeping away my unease. See, he could play beautiful music, and Il could sing, and we could start a fucking band, is all I'm saying. Far, far more than that time, I can hear the gentle, dulcet tones. As I listen to it, in enchantment, oh, hey, would you like to play together? At Miser's sudden suggestion, I blink my eyes. Wait, me? With this magic? Is it okay for me to touch it? It's fine, it's fine. As I said before, all this does is play sound. As he says this, Miser takes my hand. Hold my hand. Then at his prompting, I touch the weightless keys of light. Cute. It reacts to my fingers, and sounds ring out with dancing lights. I can't help but smile at the spectacle. I'm absorbed by it, playing my clumsy sounds over and over. As I do this... I'm glad you seem to like it. Miser smiles as he says this, playing on another part of the keyboard. I wonder if he's trying to harmonize with me. My awkward tones don't obstruct his performance at all. Well, anyway, even a Demon King has his concerns. I want to be your strength, Spacey. Right. Thank you, Miser. Oh, look at him. He's so beautiful. As I thought, you... You aren't an evil Demon King. You're a kind Demon King. What? And that gives me mixed feelings, as a last boss, of course. I've told you so many times, but you know I'm a tyrant in the demon world, right? I abuse my despotic power. Don't return to the castle until you've found my favorite coffee beans. Like that? So that's your image of my tyranny? From what I've seen of you, that's as extreme as you get, I imagine. As the two of us start laughing together, our sweet duet beautifully resonates, rising high into the starry sky. That night, into the starry sky that night. Likely because I was immersed in a lingering memory of our beautiful harmony, I had no strange nightmares of the fissures or the arms. In fact, I was able to sleep with happy feelings. That's because you're so in love with the Demon King, and I don't blame you. We're so in love with him, and it's gonna we're gonna be like, so happy, and the game's gonna make me be like, what the fuck? Anyway. 1 week after that happy performance, no abnormal events of note happened, as though that fissure had just been a coincidence. My peaceful routine at Enchante had been happily reclaimed. Vivid sunlight fills the room on a certain day just past noon. What the fuck? We're rhyming now. I'm sorry, I was like, vivid sunlight fills the room on a certain day just past noon. I feel like we should oh, we're getting into something. Oh, it's not gonna rhyme anymore, huh? As usual, sitting at a counter seat, looking down at a paperback book, yet kind of nodding off, a Demon King half closes his eyes, looking like he could fall asleep any second. On the opposite side from him, I grind coffee beans in a mill. Then, while slowly steaming them, I begin to gaze at him intently. Should I wake him up or let him sleep? Right when I'm hesitating on a decision, the book he's holding slips and falls, and his eyes open wide at the sound. Huh? Was I falling asleep? Yep, he looked really comfortable. Oof, a Demon King dozing off. Is this the reason why my subjects think I lack majesty? While he seems to be seriously concerned, I can't help but smile at him. He picks up his book, and as he sits... Here you go. I present freshly brewed coffee to Miser. He seems puzzled. Of course it's because I made it without him asking. I thought you might want to drink some if you happen to wake up. I tried preparing a blend. Oh, you really do know how I think so very well. I suppose I'll accept your generosity. Miser lightly rubs his eyes, then, oh no, you're paying for it. Double, but still. I'm just kidding. After all, this is an original coffee, unique in the world, specially made by you, right? I couldn't give the honor of being the first to taste such a wonderful thing to anyone else. After resolving the incident on Amasaki Island, what I made is a blend still in trial stages. Afterwards, seeming to like it, he's ordered it many times and happily extends his hand. Miser, after slowly enjoying the aroma, gently places his lips to the slightly bitter surface. Yes, it's delicious. The brewing process didn't lose the flavor, and this is top shelf among all the greatest coffees I've ever had the honor of tasting. I think you're just saying that because you want to get in my pants, and I'm totally going to accept it. It's fine. I love you. Marry me. What? I see. There's still a lot of room to improve, so I was going to work on it more. But I'm still happy that you like it, Miser. Oh, but top shelf? Does that mean it still isn't number one? I didn't mean that as a comparison, but... Well, yeah, that's about right. I suppose that means that the bar Grandpa said is still very high. I hear the path of coffee is a deep one. I wonder how many years of training it'll take to even reach his level. Since his is the bar I want to rise above, I think back to how Grandpa looked as he would brew his coffee. Oh, and just so you know, the coffee I liked the most wasn't made by Soan. What? Really? I totally thought that was the case, so I'm pretty shocked. Like, damn it! I was only going to rise to that bar! At my state, the Demon King chuckles. Oh, well, it's not an issue of flavor. Most delicious doesn't equate most preferred, in my opinion. Does not equate to most preferred, in my opinion. While similar, they're totally different, no? Most delicious and most preferred. I suppose they're similar, yet... Now that I'm asked about it, the tone and the feeling behind it, they're both different. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess because you could say it's the most delicious, but at the same time, you prefer to have something, maybe the most delicious if you had it all the time. It would ruin it. You're like, I have it all the time and it's not as fun as, like, something that you get rarely. You know? Not just coffee, but all favorite foods aren't purely determined by flavor. Where, when, and how you drink it, who you drink it with, who made it for you. When all of these things come together, it kind of just happens. You encounter your greatest cup. I get it. That's true. Well, I might think the food at a classy restaurant is delicious. The nostalgic food my mom made, eaten together with my family, it really means the world. Then, what are the conditions for coffee to become your favorite? That's a secret. What? It's unfair to just dodge the question like that. If you say it like it's so profound, that makes me even more curious. And now it wouldn't be very fun if I just told you the answer, would it? Also, lately it seems you've forgotten just how frightening I really am. I think I should be a little mean here to get my evil points to level up. He says that, but his face and tone of voice are nothing but kind, and he's fucking blushing. I don't feel a shred of ill intent. If this is a little too... Isn't this a little too soft to get your evil points up? I say this, but these conversations are so fun. As me and the mischievous Demon King smile at each other across the counter. Cock block and ill. What? Never mind.
Of recollection?
Without our noticing, Il had come down from the second floor and was staring at us. Il? What's wrong? If you have an order, I'll take it. When we called him, Il cast his eyes down.
No, you two just seem very happy. It's nostalgic, yes? With the most beautiful expressions, you smiled at each other. I was simply captivated by that.
He's embarrassing us.
I'll be returning to my room. I only came downstairs because I was curious about who had visited the shop. He's like, you two were beaming at each other and I'm gonna leave. It's awkward.
Phil's smile was a little different from usual, and the two of us tilt our heads. Oh, of recollection. He's thinking about the two angels of recollection, right? He's like the way they looked at each other. That's what he's thinking. Then, after Il returned to his room, as though taking his place, the entrance doorbell rings, announcing a new visitor. Rindo? Miser. Welcome, Rindo. Faster than I can greet him, Rindo briskly walks over to us. Then places his hand on the counter table in front of Miser. Sorry for interrupting your coffee, but about this invasion matter, what are you even thinking? He's smiling, but Rindo's voice is full of force. What do you mean? In response to him, Miser tilts his head in question. Puzzled by the difference in their tone, I can't help but interrupt. Rindo, what is it all of a sudden? Oh, sorry, I didn't even greet you. As if to explain the situation, Rindo pulls out his smartphone, then holds the screen up to me. Shown in the middle of the map is the harbor area of Tokyo Bay. A coastal warehouse by Tokyo Bay. A wormhole opened in the area recently. And this morning, non-humans came through it and started to occupy the surrounding area. Said they were demons from the demon world. Because whatever that other person, our antagonist, right, is the one who told them to do the invasion. It probably wasn't Miser at all. Demons? That means... That's right. They're inhabitants of Miser's domain. More accurately, they're subordinates, yes? So I came here thinking that he'd have more information about the situation at hand. But judging from his state, he doesn't seem to know. In the demon world, it's quite a large place. I have no knowledge of this matter. When Miser shakes his head, I nod my head and continue. Also, I can't think of Miser suddenly doing such a thing without a good reason. That's why I question Rindo. A group of demons probably acted on their own without Miser's consent, right? Isn't that more likely? I mean, it's just to get him in trouble, and now they're gonna be great. I'm gonna drag down to GPM. To be honest, I think that line of thought is more likely. Besides, Miser wouldn't use subordinates and would probably just start vandalizing the world on his own. And thanks for the slight, and also the trust. In reality, Miser is the king who rules demons. The subordinates reflect the superior. It seems this custom of human society also applies to the demon world. And the superior, the king, is Miser. I guess I have no choice. While I'm not enthusiastic about it, I'll take care of this matter. He finishes the little coffee he has left, then stands up, looking very annoyed. He's like, I really just want to enjoy a cup of coffee and a goddamn book in the human world. Could you fuckers not piss me off? Leaving Enchante, driving at high speed in Rindo's car for a little under an hour. I go too. The rusty door of a rundown warehouse opens with a creaking sound. The smell of iron rusting from the sea breeze greets us as we step inside. Why I went is beyond me. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't know what's going on in the story, but really. So this is the warehouse where the demons appeared? That's right. I hear this place was used to store containers unloaded around Tokyo Bay, but the company went bankrupt a while back. So, Mr. Demon King, do you sense your kind's presence? No, I don't sense anything like that yet, but before we get into that... Miser turns around, looking at me with a complicated expression. Was it really necessary for you to come along? I mean, Miser's not wrong. His view is exactly right. Yeah, I was kind of wondering myself, but he said as long as I don't leave your side. The one who allowed it, Rindo, looks around alertly and makes a bitter smile. Well, you know, she looked at me with those wide eyes that just screamed, I'm curious. Rindo, you should have better judgment as a 42-year-old man, I'm just saying. For all your nagging, you fold when the slightest pressure comes your way. If it comes to worst, you're her shield, got that? I got it. Shaking his head and shrugging, Miser starts walking again, and we go deeper into the warehouse. I mean, I like the fact that the game's a little self-aware. You're like, why are we here? And it's like, and Miser's like, why are you here? Thank you, game. Rindo, I don't know, I just, girl said yes, boobs. I don't know, like. Then, after passing the shadow of a certain container, Miser stops right in front of me. Oh! Miser, what's wrong? Oh, the demons. I found them, but... Judging from Miser's stance, it's probably not dangerous. Me and Rindo then follow his gaze to... Are they cute little blobs? Of, like, mist? Doesn't that kind of look like on the world looks like misty and foggy, so they're little blobs of... They're... Are they giant fruit jellies? Without thinking, I mutter my impression of what I saw. They just need, like, little dot eyeballs. Oh my... Ask and ye shall receive. I'm sorry. They just need dot eyeballs. And they turn around and they have little dotty eyeballs. Oh my god, they're so fucking cute. I get that's why Miser's like, what? Why are you? I don't want you to see them. Why? Because then you're like, these are the evil demons? They're so cute. I just want to poke one. Jiggle. The fruit jellies, question mark, turn to us in unison. Oh my god, they're fucking adorable.
Oh, they've raided us. The humans that live here. You know, the natives.
They're so gonna sound just like the fucking thing, so I can do fun voice.
Well, he probably got smoked in a fight. The slimy way is to let him pass.
We'll probably get smoked in a fight, sorry. They speak, which means they must be some kind of intelligent non-humans. Are these the demons we were searching for? They mentioned slime. It's kind of like the slime monsters that appear in games and stuff, right? Yeah, but they're fucking adorable. Slime, a common monster from RPGs. As gelatinous life forms of indeterminate shape, their strength varies based on the game they appear, though they're usually very weak. True, the image from their appearance is much like that. So was it you guys, the ones who came from the demon world? Miser asks in a disappointed way, then... The slimes huddle together and start trembling.
No! Slimes aren't demons! We've never heard of the demon world! Don't just go accusing people of stuff! Slimes are just a type of pet, totally normal and found in worlds everywhere! That's right! We're not preparing an invasion at all! Just leave us alone!
Sure. Alright. Clearly you've come from the demon world to invade the human world.
How did you know?
Well, you know, you're not very good liars. During this conversation, Rindo has a doubtful look on his face, then pats Miser on the shoulder. He's like, seriously, you're a big tough... No wonder why you're such a squishy jelly bean.
You're the demon king of squishy jelly beans. I fucking love it. I fucking love it. Didn't see that coming at all. So, Miser, are these really demons? They don't seem very threatening at all. But they aren't even reacting to you, the Demon King himself.
They must be countryside demons. We don't have photographs in the demon world, so a lot of folks don't even know my face.
So that's... Who's laughing? As though aiming to interrupt our conversation, a sharp cackle sounds shaking the warehouse. Speaking for those worthless slimes, I apologize for the impoliteness. Humans! While I would have liked to be more selective in personnel, the wormhole was much smaller than expected. Aside from me, who dislocated his shoulders to squeeze through, these soft bodies were the only ones who could come to this world. This voice, where's it coming from? I fervently look around, then... On the stacked containers, I spot a single silhouette. I need to see him, just to know what the voice should sound like. Spacey, get back just in case. Miser immediately shields me behind his back, and right after... For some reason, the silhouette makes a valiant shout and leaps from the container. Oh! That's a valiant shout. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Okay, well, at least he's normal size. It lands magnificently, revealing his form. What appeared was a lone man. Oh my god, this is like Dromi from the demon world. Dark brown skin, a sinister-looking tail, and protruding horns. This form is exactly like... a demon? Remaining hidden behind Miser's back, I say this confidently, knowing what it was. It literally is Demon Dromi. Okay, the thing that's annoying is he looks like he would have the Ignis voice. Or the well, like, Dromi was like this. Haha, exactly right. He's gonna have a little more like the Dromi voice, but like more mature. Like, Dromi was like, whatever. Okay. I mean, seriously, you can't keep drawing the same character. You can't get, like, all the characters with the same, like, whatever bro voice. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, I'll let these slimes shut up now and explain everything myself. This warehouse is claimed by us demons as our beachhead to conquer the human world. Beachhead? Beachhead. In battle, this refers to an important position held on the front line for deeper advancement. Okay. What? He declares this so boldly, I'm lost for words. You and literally what army? The jelly beans? You're going to invade the human world from here? With jelly beans? From this? Fine reaction, human! Your fear is my nourishment! From this little place? Yeah, it's a pretty tiny beachhead for invading an entire world. When we state our frank impressions, the man crosses his arm with a humbled face. Indeed, to be honest, thought it was a little small myself. And the human world is, well, a little bigger than I imagined. Yeah, about 300 million times bigger. What? Maybe you should make your estimates a little bigger when you form your invasion plans. Miser makes an appropriate point, but the man laughs it off. He's like, do you know who the fuck I am? Ha! Regardless of how big the human world is, it's nothing before my overwhelming power. With all this said, you'll be my first prey. Does he not see Miser standing there? I like the furry coat, though. Now tremble before my power. Submit while you still can, humans. The man points his finger and finally takes a good look at us. At Miser and Rindo. And finally, from behind Miser's back, at me, having poked my face out a little to talk. The moment he spots me, for some reason the demon man opens his eyes wide and is lost for words. What is this? He's staring right at me. Is he, like, supposed to be our main antagonist, or is he just another side character? Like, I don't know. So, who exactly are you? You're not a slime. Are you a leader of the Demon King's army? One of the big four? Unable to endure the silence, I ask him this, and the man's body stiffens instantly. Do they not know what women look like? Oh, so all we have to... Okay, hold on. I'm gonna need some ladies here. Oh my god, look! That's an ice fur jacket! Ah! Anyway, after seemingly forced coughs to try and hide his discomposure. Very well, I shall introduce myself. Listen in awe and be struck with fear. I am the one admired by all in the demon world.
Yes, and you're wide open. Quite literally, in a single stroke, Miser snaps his fingers, and right then, the man is blown away with intense force right into the wormhole behind him. Whoa! It engulfs the man's body, and he's sucked in with impressive speed. Alright, that's a hole-in-one right there. You slimes are up next.
Such brutality with no mercy. We slimes are going a little pale in fear. Being gallantly flown away is a good ending. That was for my granny back in the country. We fought till the very end, granny.
The slimes form impressive parabolas as they soar through the air. I feel sorry, but it was kind of beautiful. With all the demons blown safely back through the wormhole, the warehouse has regained its peace, but... how should I put it? Invasion? Occupation? I'm not sure any word really describes what just happened now. Hey, Miser, they were your subordinates, right? You blew them away pretty violently. It's fine, it's fine. Demons have really tough bodies. I'm sure that didn't even scratch them. Okay, if you say so. I'm guessing that's not anyone important. He's just a random dude. Afterwards, with the uproar resolved, we head back home. But hey, he got a sprite! Shocking. According to Rindo's contact and protocol, the warehouse wormhole will be monitored by GPM until it closes. Miser couldn't have closed it? I'm just saying. He can fucking close everything else, so. Then, after arriving home, we talk about what happened today to everyone gathered at the shop for dinner. We basically met Dromy in demon form.
You're saying that Miser's lackey tried to come and invade the human world without his permission?
As far as I heard, it seems these subordinates are quite unique and difficult to control. You act rather casually every day, yet it seems standing at the head of the demon world is quite difficult, Miser.
Miser, you can have this ice cream if you want. A present of gratitude for me.
Oh, your eyes are warm with sympathy, especially with ill as being so considerate. Having received the plate of ice cream, Miser mutters this with mixed feelings. However, Miser's subordinates, I do not believe he has ever spoken of such subjects before. Wait, really? You mentioned their subordinates, but there are quite a number of them, but let's see, to say it simply... You can say it simply? They were all very unrestrained, that's all.
That's way too simple. You're a shit king.
But for someone who lives in such a dangerous world, they sounded rather amusing, didn't they?
Dangerous? Now that you mention it, during the party we had during the reopening, we touched on the demon world, didn't we? Observed Otherworld XXXX Demon World Asmodia. Losing its sun, the world is pitch black, its land illuminated by a dark moon. Its atmosphere filled with miasma, with swamps of terrible poisons welling about. The non-humans that live there are called demons, who are creatures of impulse and fight in endless, bloody wars. That was the story.
In other words, it's a fantasy world with lots of dangers where you'd see swords and magic.
True, and according to the previous story, there were also heroes? Yes, humans live in the demon world. Those heroes born there sometimes the heroes born there sometimes raid the castle to try and defeat me. It really kind of sounds like you're making a lot of this shit up, though. Doesn't it really sound like it's... Really, can we go there? No! Why? Because it's just little blobs of slime. Let's see. Last generation's hero was pretty strong. I thought I was gonna die when he stabbed his holy sword right through my heart. Your heart? I'm struck speechless by the words that suddenly rushed from his mouth. A sword through your heart? Miser, are you okay? I'm fine. And that was a long time ago when I fully healed. Don't worry. He says that so nonchalantly, but... It's like he's hiding shit. He's hiding a lot of shit. If it was just a little bit worse, Miser could have died back then? After the conversation and finishing cleanup after dinner, while everyone's returned to their rooms or worlds, Alright, see you tomorrow. Thanks for the delicious coffee once again today. I hope we get to see him being, like, fucking angry and pissed off. Yeah, I don't know how to do that voice, but to see Miser off as he returns to the demon world, I stand in front of the room with the gate. Returns to the demon world. Huh. Spacey, is something wrong? You don't seem too cheery. Seems my inner thoughts appeared on my face. Miser stops his feet as he enters the room and peers into my face. Are you worried about the demons from earlier today? I told you, they'll be perfectly fine. It's not that, if there was anything I was worried about, it's more like someone. It's you, Miser. Me? Yeah, Miser, you always return to the demon world every day, right? Well, yeah, I have work to do there. About that, Miser, you know how ill lives in the human world? Would you not be able to live here? What? Miser suddenly freezes in place. Why are you asking me that? Still puzzled, he answers my question with a question. Wow, I can't read anymore. You know, earlier, I couldn't stop thinking about the story about how the hero almost killed you. If you go back to the demon world, doesn't that mean heroes and other people there try and target your very life? God, I cannot read today. Yeah, that's correct, but as you know and all too well, I'm a demon king who's a very good cheater. I wouldn't lose so easily. But the chance of losing someday, it isn't zero, is it? Your heart was stabbed with a sword. You just told me that story earlier. We're talking like it was just normal, but in 5 years or 10 years or after that, who knows if someday a hero will appear whose power exceeds Miser's. If that happens, one day suddenly, something had happened to you in a place, and I wouldn't even know it. One day you might stop coming to the shop forever. I just thought I wouldn't like that. I love you too much to let you go. It's only a possibility. But just imagining it, my chest hurts a lot. It's agonizing. I mean, technically, you could, walk out that door and never come back. That could literally happen to anyone you love. Just, they probably wouldn't be stabbed by some hero. Probably just... Lord knows what else could happen, but, So I was just wondering, I know you have work to do in the demon world, but you could borrow a room here and maybe start having your living quarters just be here. If he does that, the danger he's in would lighten a little. And my suggestion filled with my hope. I'm sorry. I just can't do that. Miser quietly declines. His feeling of regret was clear upon his face. He can't for some reason. He's, tied there. You know what I mean? Canis has to go back every once in a while. Karia needs to go. There's something about that. Ill's totally fine, never going back, but... It was then that I realized I'd made a very one-sided suggestion. I'm sorry, I was pushing this all on my own. Of course in your position you wouldn't be able to just make a decision like that. Couldn't even abdicate the throne to somebody else, because there's some other reason. And no, that's wrong. That's not it. That's not it at all. Huh? There was an expression I'd never seen before on Miser's face. This, whatever this is what's gonna fuck us up later in the game. As though he was suffocating, he grasped at his chest with his hand. I'm happy about your concern. If it was possible, it would be a great thing It would be the greatest thing I could ever imagine. But I'm lying to you. Lying? Seeming to actually hear the word I said, Miser raises his head. Sorry, I need to get going. I need to lecture those demons from the warehouse today, too. Miser... My words don't reach him. Miser walks into the room with the gate inside. Then, while hearing the sound of the doorbell to another world ringing, I repeat the words Miser said inside my head. What could he have meant by lying? And he said it with such a tangible agony. Yeah, what are you lying about? Lying that you couldn't live here? Or lying about something about yourself? Ooh, now we're either Miser or other. I'm assuming we're Miser? I don't know. With each brisk step, there's a rough feeling under my feet, as though fleeing from her words. Yeah, okay. Without looking back at the gate, I simply keep walking. Live at Cafe Enchante, huh? What Spacey said was the sweetest temptation. Waking up in the morning with her there like it's natural. We'd have silly chats all night. I'd be able to wish her goodnight before bed.
Oh, we're already instant in love with him and it's only chapter 1.
I could go and talk to her whenever I wanted to see her face. Things like that. It would be such a dream. I'd forget my position as Demon King and almost start nodding without thinking. As if to admonish my foolish thoughts, a strong wind slaps my face. Yeah, I know. I know it very well myself. Even if I didn't come back here tomorrow and started living in Enchante, all that would lie ahead would be tragedy. My chest begins to hurt when I recall the face Spacey made when I refused. If I could only tell her the reason why I can't. But I can't even do that. In the end, I'm just a liar, and that's all. But it's been fine, everything so far. To her, I visit the shop each and every day and take my time to enjoy a cup of coffee. I go home at night just as an eccentric regular of hers. And that's all. If I wish for more than that, I would certainly be punished for it. As long as I can watch her live a happy life at Enchante, that's all I should ever need.
So I just feel like we're not going to get a happy end. You know what I mean?
The footfalls on the staircase resound and vanish with each step through the room. The hand of the clock's already past 1, but sleep's yet to find me today. Getting into bed and closing my eyes or even putting on sleepwear is too much. I set my feet into the shop, thinking I might be able to sleep after having a warm drink. Make myself an espresso. I brew some decaffeinated coffee, and after wrapping my hands around the warm and steaming cup, decaffeinated coffee! Coffee with the stimulant caffeine removed! Stimulant caffeine removed! I can't read right now. I just don't know what the hell's wrong with me. It's also called by other terms like caffeine-free or decaf. Decaf is just short for decaffeinated, I mean. Surprise. I sit down in Miser's usual chair. Maybe I unconsciously picked that one because I've been thinking about him a lot. Phew. That was way too much too fast. Want to live here? Ugh, to ask that. While reflecting on my verbal gaffe, I stare at the surface tension in my cup. Il doesn't want to go to the heavenly world and just lives here completely. But Candace and Ignis often stay the night if it gets too late. That's why I might have been misunderstanding things a little. This was a place for them to be, but another place was where they were needed most. Miser and everyone, they're all just customers after all. Everyone has their own world to return to. They have lives that I don't know about. I want to be Miser's life.
And he wants that too, which is so cute. It's like insta-love, which is perfect, because I insta-loved him the second I saw him, so.
Thinking about it again, it's a little sad. As I worry about such things, the bottom of the cup becomes visible. Maybe I'll be able to sleep now. I return behind the counter to clean up after myself. A rather worn old coffee cup at the edge of the shelf catches my eye. This is Miser's. He said it was really important. It's my own personal mug, I guess. Some people have bowling balls, dart sets, but I have a mug. As a self-proclaimed coffee fanatic, I'm particular about drinking vessels, too. It looks just like an ordinary mug to me, but is it actually really expensive? Well, if it cracked, the world would be annihilated by this demon lord's rage. What? I'm just kidding, but still, it's something precious to me. Seeing how he entrusted such a cherished item to me, that should say how much Miser trusts me at least, but
we're only in chapter 1 and he's already started the mystery.
I'm happy about your concern. If it was possible, it would be the greatest thing I could ever imagine. But I'm lying to you.
It's like it starts off with like the angst already in chapter 1 of his route. Like, Jesus.
What could he mean by lying? Why did Miser make such an agonized face at the time? Such a face was a first for the Demon King, who always wore a smirk. I wonder if the time he'll feel like talking about this will ever come. As I think of this, I extend my hand to the cup and touch it. Then, the sound of something cracking. At first I thought I had cracked the coffee cup, but I was wrong. It wasn't the cup, but its surroundings. Like before at Amasaki Island, and the other day in front of the shop. The same sudden occurrence. A crack in space. I couldn't understand what happened. Man, don't touch his cup! It causes wormholes to crack! Girl, oh my god. Jeez, I swear, I'm just kidding. My body's stuck. I have nowhere to run. Scream. Before I knew it, the fissure was in front of my eyes, opening 10 centimeters in width. Strong wind blows from it, brushing against my cheeks. What? It's weird that, because this is what I thought. It's his world, and this is what's, like, and that's what I thought with the whole thing at Amasaki Island, but still, it's just baffling in the back of my mind how, like, they, in Ill's route, it was like, oh, we did the Amasaki Island thing. Really? That doesn't make, okay, what? It didn't seem, like, you know, but it wasn't, it was Miser's world. So, like, what, in Ill's route, it's supposed to be from the thing, but that doesn't make any sense, you know what I mean? Well, anyway. Inside the crack, I could faintly see land stretching endlessly. Like, again, like, I'm just saying, so, like, in Ill's route, we're just supposed to take it like it was canon in Ill's route, that it was the Heavenly World that did it, but now in Miser's route, it's like, no, it was really Miser's world that did it. Like, I just don't understand why they would take credit for it, or why they needed to, like, kind of put it into both. You know, because you kind of knew that it's Miser's chapter, and you're like, okay, it has something to do with his world. And then, like, Ill's thing took credit, and you're like, what? I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, I feel like that's just a weird thing that they put in. It makes no sense, but I could faintly see land stretching endlessly. I thought it was a desert for a moment, but what's piled up isn't sand. It's ash. At the very least, there's nothing in the area I can see, just wind blowing against the land. In the middle of this sad world, I spot a figure. Due to the blowing ash, I can't quite make out the form, but it seems the figure has spotted my existence. Much like a child who's just learned to walk, the young man staggers his way over and approaches. Uh-oh. Oh, this is our antagonist! He kind of has the lighter colored hair. I bet this is him. Plus, it's a CG. Hi. Who are you? The answer to my question sounded like a groan or a cry. Is he unable to speak? The young man still vibrates his throat, looking at me through the fissure, like you want to feel bad for him because he seems like he's stressed out, but at the same time, you're going to be the one that's going to try to kill me and shit, and we already know you're evil because we've heard your thoughts. A high bridge of the nose and beautiful eyes. Oh, girl, don't fall for him. He's evil. Hair with some peculiarity. That form reminds me of someone I know well. So without thinking, Miser? When I call this out, come on, he doesn't look like Miser at all. Face shape, sure. Tears flow down the young man's cheeks. We made him cry, girl! I feel bad. Then, sorry. As though tearing at the fissure in space, he suddenly extends an arm. I cannot read or speak right now. I don't know what my problem is. What? Reflexively, I take a step back, and the arm doesn't reach me, but... Is he gonna climb through the hole? Nelly... Found... Finally... Has he been like... Does he just wander around in the desert out there? Because then I might feel a little bit bad. I don't know. He extends his hand toward me again. I mean, he seems a little deranged. But he's blocked by the closing fissure. Finally found. Only his voice slips into the shop, and the unknown man vanishes along with the fissure, like mist.
Interesting. What was that just now? So we've seen our antagonist. No. Who was he? So when Miser comes back, so like, is your world like just like a bunch of blowing ash? Yeah, okay, so yeah, the wormhole opened and there was a dude in it? Oh, we're at GPM now. Fucking Dromy.
Hey, Dromy special delivery. One human coming right up.
Oh, why if it isn't Dromy? Did you find another human lost in Beastia via wormhole? Sorry for all the trouble. I'll contact the rescue team and get them working on identification.
No need to worry. I couldn't sleep well at night and if I left them to die.
I see. Yes, ever since you started cooperating with Beastia research, dealing with problems like this has become much smoother. It's very helpful. Isn't that right, Koo?
Yeah, I'm just glad to help, but lately doesn't seem like there are way more lost people around. Like, as far as I know, this is maybe the third one this month. I mean, my world isn't really the most touristy location out there, you know?
About that. The frequency of wormholes opening in Beastia and the human world has increased greatly, strangely enough. As soon as they're detected, we deploy teams to deal with them, but it's become more than we can handle.
Wormholes, huh? In Beastia, wormholes are an everyday thing. But why is it just that the humans fall out of them and nobody else?
Dromy asking the smart questions. I hate him, but like, smart questions.
Is that really the case?
Yep, as far as I know, there hasn't been a single demon or fairy or angel popping up in our neck of the woods.
That's the very first I've heard of this. I should alert the higher-ups just in case. Thank you for the information, Dromy. I have work to do, so I'll get going now.
Could all our wormholes opening up right now just lead straight into the human world? You know, in that case, I can make a real good use of them. But at the same time, I kinda have this totally bad feeling.
Like, is Dromy just gonna be like, not a douchebag? Oh my god, Miser's world is fucking up everybody.
Yeah, what did you just say?
Part of Yggdrasil has perished. It happened suddenly in an area where a small-scale wormhole opened along the eastern edges.
Impossible! Is this some sort of mistake? If something were to happen to Yggdrasil, my body, and the other fairies...
Unfortunately, no. This is a truly joyous occasion. I went to confirm it myself, and it actually has died. To be more precise, it hasn't just died. It's more appropriate to say it vanished.
Vanished?
Yes. A part of Yggdrasil has disappeared, as though it was gouged out. However, no fairies had witnessed this occurrence directly. As such, the details remain unknown.
If part of the world tree died without it going into a rage, there are no problems for now. But I doubt such good fortune would suddenly fall upon us. This wormhole, there's something eerie about it.
I agree. Hopefully the damage will remain restricted to the cursed world tree. Hero, I love how everyone's involved! I forget Solitus's voice and we just did the route. Anyway, my lord, I bring a report. The wormhole that occurred a short time ago has annihilated the temple in Sector 12. 3 angels attending the temple were lost. Recovery is expected to be impossible. I have also confirmed the... Oh.
I have also confirmed the total loss of their life signals, like...
We really should have done that with God the whole time. It would have been so funny. God's a valley girl, wow. This wormhole and others currently threaten the heavenly world are all unmistakably of the same type. Then, affirmative. As of now, measures against these wormholes will take the highest priority. The Salvation Project will be paused. Okay, it kind of makes sense why, like, nobody else is doing any other shit that they were gonna do. Also, depending on how this progresses, understanding the risks, I shall consider the forcible recovery of that individual. Not for the Salvation Project, but in preparation to deal with the threat beyond these wormholes. As you will, my god. So, like, you're still gonna extract fucking ill. So this is like the canon route. So like curious how that's all going to work out for everybody. And like, well, Rindo won't be a non-human, so that's good, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this part up here since we're about at time, and we'll start chapter 2 in the next part. So, yeah, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.